brainless, bankrupt politicians who want to create barriers, who want to erect roadblocks. I want to tell them the reason why we have national schools.
Rigathi Gachagua seems to be intellectually incapacitated. Those are not my words, but from what President William Samoei Ruto tries to insinuate from his response towards Rigathi Gachagua. Recently, Rigathi Gachagua laid some grievances towards the national schools that are found within the central region. Anyway, this is President William Samoei Ruto addressing Rigathi Gachagua.
Mimi nataka niwaambie brainless, bankrupt politicians who want to create barriers, who want to erect roadblocks. I want to tell them the reason why we have national schools is because we wanted to break down the barriers of colonialism and ethnicity. And we will not allow no politician, however desperate they may be, however bankrupt they may be, to erect new boundaries for our children. We want our children to learn in every institution that is available to them in Kenya. Especially our national schools must have access to all the children of Kenya equally. In any case, all those schools have been built using resources from the government of Kenya, especially the national schools. So, mimi nataka niwaeleze, we will not allow anybody, however insane, however mad, however desperate, however tribal they may be, to balkanize our children. Our children will go to school because we are one indivisible nation called Kenya.
Well, Rigathi Gachagua didn't just sit and watch her. Here is a reply he also gave back to the president.
We used to have a very good system of placement of our kids into secondary schools. Principals would gather at the Kenya Science Teachers College, and they are given all the pupils who apply to go to those institutions. Then a committee would agree on the cutoff point, and the principals would make the choices and place the children accordingly. This is no longer the case. The placement of our children has been centralized at Jogoo House, which has brought in corruption. Because the bureaucrats sitting at Jogoo House have no capacity to know how to place kids. That is why we have a crisis where kids have been placed in a day school 300 kilometers away from their homes. How do people expect these children to go about their lives? If it's a girl aged 13 years and she has been placed in a school 200-300 kilometers away from home, the parents would have to go and get a house, a rented room for that girl and leave her there. Again, the parents would spend a lot of money. So we have a crisis, we have a mess. I heard William Ruto saying that it has been done very well. He doesn't live in this country anymore. He should know and hear the outcry of parents. Parents are spending thousands of shillings trying to take their children far away from home to day schools, look for accommodation, look how they'll be eating, how they'll be cooking. It's a crisis of unknown magnitude. We are saying that it is not right to admit any child to a day school outside a walking distance. And when the principals were doing it, it was done properly because the principals know the catchment area of the secondary school. And then they will do 3, 4, 5 kilometers only. But we have a situation where kids in Machakos have been admitted in a day school in Kericho. How does that child survive? This is not right. This is unnecessary.
Mambo ya masomo. Huyu mtu in 3 years, unajua nasikia akisema ati mtu angaliwe track record yake. Mwai Kibaki alichaguliwa 2002 akatutengenezea free primary education. Uhuru Kenyatta akakuja 2013, day secondary school ikakuwa ni free. In 3 years Ruto ameharibu hiyo yote. Tunaongea leo pesa ya capitation ya last year mashule haikupata. Mashule yote iko na madeni. Maprincipal wamesima simu kwa sababu ya kusubuliwa na suppliers. Tunaenda hii January hakuna pesa ya capitation. Minister anasema iko, Kasongo anasema iko. Kama hajapeana ya last year, ni mwaka huu atapeana. Tena hii ni serikali confused. Ile watoto wamemaliza grade 9. Vijana amepita. Anakuwa admitted shule ya day, yeye anatoka hapa Kiambu. Anawekwa day school Kericho. Mtoto mwingine msichana amealikwa shule ya vijana. This is a totally confused government because the fish rolls from the head. Huyu Kasongo is a confused person kwa sababu hakuna kazi anafanya. Kazi yake ni kufanya deals na kutafuta pesa. Sasa hapa kwetu shule zetu Alliance, Mangu, wapi, watoto wetu hapa wamepelekwa shule iko chini na marks yao iko juu. Watu wengine wameletwa kwa mashule zetu hapa. There is total confusion kwa mambo ya shule. Parents do not know what to do. Alafu Kasongo anasema ati anataka kutupeleka Singapore. Sasa wewe Kasongo, kabla utupeleke Singapore, si ulipe pesa ya shule? Kabla utupeleke Singapore, si ulipe pending bills? Sasa hii Singapore, ulisema watoto wapigwe risasi kwa mguu, hii ni Singapore gani?
Well, on this is what I do say, that it's either the president assumes those who are advising him, or those who are advising him are doing it wrongly and not doing their professional job. Because some of the grievances that Rigathi Gachagua is bringing forth are very valid and relevant, especially when it comes to the placements of the students. Now, we went into the CBC system that even they, the parents, are struggling to understand how it operates. Now, the students were recently placed in schools and they denied the rights to the head teachers or the principals to admit students. Like, you know, back then, you will easily walk into a school and talk to the principal like, hey, the cutoff points of my child or the marks of my child are enabling him or her to join the school of such a status. I'm unable to take them to that other school which is found maybe in another region. I'm humbly requesting if I would admit my child in this school. And it will be so easier. Right now, they leave that purely to the Ministry of Education. But I want to give an example that Rigathi Gachagua was also given. How do you take a child, admit him, let's say for instance, a child is in Nairobi. You take him to a day school in Kericho. Does it make sense? Does the system work? That will be the question. Yes, it works, but inefficiently. It is so inefficient. Meaning, as we try to strengthen it, then we have to revert to the traditional system just for the purposes of making sure the education system is not lagging behind. Anyway, with regards to what the president said and to what Rigathi Gachagua said, what's your take? What's your thought in all this? Give me the comment in the comment section below. If you love content of this nature and you're watching from my YouTube channel, kindly subscribe and press the notification button so anytime that we are live or we upload content of this nature, you'll be the very first person to be notified. Ahmed Khalif is my name for the unscripted talks here in Dub Radio. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuhu.
Kwa timba kali za Afrika, Dub Radio ndio mpango mzima.